Encore is actually my Encore career. So I worked, I was a teacher at the school district in Philadelphia for 30, no not 30, that's the second one, for 15 memorable years. And I have to say it was the hardest work I ever did. And subsequently I went to Temple University and I was the director of training at the Intergenerational Center. And what we did there was we developed programs that brought younger people and older people together to really address kind of serious social needs of the community. And then we also did a lot of work around kind of helping people 50 plus think about what they wanted to do at the next stage of life. So one of the things about aging today is that a lot of the vocabulary that we've been using forever is kind of doesn't really work for some of us baby boomers who are moving into this next period. So rather than say senior citizens or try to figure out what it was people wanted to be called, we just said people 50 plus. So it takes in the universe of people from 50 up to 100. So when I turned 65, which was actually a few years ago now, I decided that I wanted to think about what I was going to do for my next 30 years. So that's how I got to Women's Encore, because I had written my doctoral dissertation on women who divorced in late life. And that time, late life was like 60 or over. Although now it's, it's relative the older you get. So, but many of the women that I talked to were in their 60s and 70s, and we even had some women who were in their, well into their 80s. And it was amazing what they, kind of where they were in their life stage and what they were able to do at that period. And I thought, this is really what I want to do in life, is to work with older women. But I was a single mom with a child to support, so I had to work and make a living for 30 years. But then the time came and I thought, oh, okay, so I can do something different now. So this is my chance to kind of fulfill my own dream. So really my goal in Women's Encore is to help other people fulfill their dreams. So just to kind of get a quick sense, how many of you have either had life coaching, know what life coaching is, or never heard of it? Since we're such a small group, I really want everybody to participate and feel free to have a conversation. You've heard of it, okay? Yeah, heard of it. Okay, so some of you have heard of it. Anybody, has anybody gotten coaching, and what brought you to this particular session today?
Feeling stuck.
You're feeling stuck. You're feeling stuck. Okay. Great. Well, I'm delighted to have you here. Okay, so hopefully I can advance this without. Sorry, the clicker is not working, so I'm going to have to do this way. There we go. So what I thought we would try to do today was to give you a deeper understanding of what the coaching process is really all about, helping you think about some new possibilities for your lives, which I already talked to one person who said, this is what I would like to do, and to really give you a chance to kind of engage in the role of being both a coach and being the coachee, so to speak. So to kind of give you just a little bit of a flavor. What's exciting about it is that you all really have inside of you the skills, the expertise. So it's really just it's a lot of listening and a lot of kind of guided conversation, and really it's a partnership in terms of helping people kind of realize the dream they may have and kind of appreciate the fact that you can actually achieve it. So I found this quote that I love. The hummingbird, I haven't memorized this, so I'm going to have to read it to you, but the hummingbird's wings beat up to 80 times per second. They can rotate in a complete circle, allowing it to hover in midair, fly forwards, backwards, upside down, sideways, or up, down, sideways, and even upside down. The law of physics say it should be impossible for the hummingbird to fly, but nobody ever told the hummingbird. So it's kind of, and the quote that I have on my card, beautiful postcard here, is your present circumstances don't determine where you go, they merely determine where you start. So it's really, I think a lot of times what happens is we sort of feel like we're a bit stuck and we don't know where to begin. It's kind of like being on a merry-go-round and you go around and around. At some point you have to jump off. So this is also a little bit about the jumping off. So I would like So we're going to talk a little bit about what your dreams are this afternoon. And so this is what I'd like you to do. I have my little bell here with me. I'm going to ask you to find a partner. And for starters, it could be somebody that you know that you came in with, but we're going to be rotating around the room a little bit. What I'd like you to do is to take turns and asking each other, what is your dream? So when you hear the bell, then you're going to move on to the next, you're going to find another partner and then really ask the same question. Now, a dream can be, I want to change jobs. A dream can be, I want to run for political office. Although I don't know why anybody would in this day and age. A dream could be, you know, I'd really like to be able to get along better with my adult children. Or I'd really like to have better communication with my boss. You know, it can be really anything that you feel you would like to really work on, and maybe something that you feel you get stuck on. So is everybody clear? So you talk with one person will say, my dream is that I'd like to do, and then the other person will go and talk about what that dream is. Okay? So if you get up, find a partner. Yes. So, and let me just clarify one thing that Peter just mentioned. As you move from person to person, you can say the same dream, or if you've got more than one, you can say a different dream. No rules about that. Okay. What was the challenge? What would it be like for you if this was in your life right now? And in what way are your values embedded in your dreams? So in other words, in what way is what you want to do, how is that a reflection on who you are and what's important to you? Okay, so I'm going to just get you this two. So I'm going to ask you to count off 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, so we can mix things up a little bit. So you're going to be 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Great. Okay, so let's have the 1s over on this side, the 2s over on this side, and we'll go over this again just in case to kind of clear up what it is we're doing. So let me go over these again because I know there may be some questions. So let me just go over this again. Okay. So what was it like for you to share your dream with somebody else? You know, how did that sort of impact you? Was it fun? Was it scary? Did it make it real? You know, what kind of came up for you? What was the challenge? What would it be like for you if this was in your life right now? If you were living your dream at this moment, what would that feel like? What would that be like? And the last one is about what way are your values embedded in your dreams? Really what I'm asking is, what is it that's important to you that's reflected in what it is you want to do? What is reflected in your dream? So when I shared a little bit about how I got into being a woman's encore, and I talked about the fact that I had worked with older women and that I wanted to give them a voice, that was what was important to me. So I'd like you to kind of think about that in terms of what you shared. So you can pick any one of the dreams. I know some people did different dreams and some people picked the same one. So take a few minutes in your groups to talk about that. And then I'm going to sort of ask you to report out, which means you'll have to summarize a little bit. But what were some of the main themes that kind of bubbled up in your conversation? Does that help? Everybody? Go. Okay. We're happy to have you.
Well, I'll start. I talked to 3 different people, and I talked about 3 different things. For me, I like to talk, so I talk. The first thing that came to mind, I like to talk to people. So I don't think any of them were really dream, because it's things that I do.
Tell what I personally,
One of them, which I put in different.
Just maybe summarize some of the things that came up.
Everybody agrees that with
Elected by unanimous decision.
Okay, some of the, what was it like to articulate your dream to another person? People were afraid to say it they just didn't want to talk. So that was some of it, to overcome that fear. And the challenge, what was the challenge, is just to get them to open up about how they see themselves and where they want to go. And what would it be like for you right now? They said it would be wonderful because they would be doing what they really want to do. And in what ways are your values embedded? It would be a continuation of what they're doing, but they're doing it at their own pace and time when they want to do it.
So it sounds like some of the people in your group had a difficult time sort of saying the dream, and I've heard, whether it's easier to talk to a stranger or somebody that you know.
Right.
And the challenge was really letting the words come out in this situation. And I also did hear that for many of you, what's in your dream is really an extension of what is already going on for you now.
But plus also, I think the stranger will be as critical or bipartisan. You know what I mean? It's someone that knows you, then they're going to go in deeper, and then it's like tick for tack and back and forth. But a stranger, they're just going to listen.
That's a very good point, so hang on to that, 'cause we're going to go into that a little bit more. How about this group?
Well, we were kind of all over the place, but several people, the dream was about helping other people, and the dream was, I'm not going to get this correct, about worrying about what other people think, which goes into the second one, and being judgmental.
So was there a judgment going on?
And being
Right,
judgmental.
What the person shared.
We're living the dream right now.
I
You
heard
know,
that.
we're living a dream, we're working towards a dream. I think in values, on our side, it was more helping other people. Or helping yourself.
It's not surprising that people who would come to a conference like this are like a room full of helpers. That's it's sort of a natural extension.
And I think when we talk about the challenge, it's a lot, for me, it was a lot it was easier to vocalize, because I don't know anybody, and 5 minutes from now or whatever, I'll be getting in front of them, I've seen them again, so I can say whatever I want. As opposed to if it was family and friends, I think it would be a lot harder to say what's on my mind.
Did anybody find that the act of saying the dream or just expressing it made it seem any more real? Did it feel like it was something that was doable? Or did it still seem very distant?
It's doable.
Doable? Okay. Good. Okay, so here's our last assignment is I want you to pick one partner. And for those of you who know somebody well, pick another person, somebody that you don't know well. And for 2 minutes, person A is going to, I'm going to show you the questions, is going to respond to 3 questions. Person B is going to summarize what they heard. Okay, so you're not going to give advice, you're not going to say, oh, that's wonderful, you're just going to summarize. I heard you say da, 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 da. And we're going to switch and do the same thing with the other person. And then we'll do a quick wrap up. Okay? So the questions. My department, this is what I just shared with you. So what's the dream you haven't yet realized? So you may just want to pick one. And we need to be pretty concise here so that we can finish on time. So my dream is I want to fix up my house and sell it, or fix up my house so I can give it to my son. What have you done so far? Have you taken any steps? What's preventing you? If you haven't taken any steps, what seems to be stopping you? And who is your support for moving forward? So who's in your life who could help you take the first step or the second step? So I'm going to be kind of strict about it. So the bell's going to ring after 2 minutes. So then I'll give the person who's going to summarize just a few seconds to summarize, and then we'll switch. Okay? Let me just do a quick wrap up and ask you, what was it like to be in this relationship with your partner? Great one? Good. What made it great?
You got to know someone.
You got to know somebody, okay?
And
I enjoy
Yeah, we
listening.
worked there.
You enjoyed listening?
Yeah.
Great, you enjoyed listening. How did it feel to be listened to?
That was great. It's always good to be listened to.
Anybody else? Did you find it difficult not to say what you thought about what the other person was wanting to do, or to give them advice, or to just add anything else to the conversation?
You definitely don't feel as judgmental because you don't really know that. It's not, like you said, it's not family. So, and then you can kind of ignore that a little bit. You know?
Anybody else want to add to that?
To be able to make connections, to identify.
So you felt like you connected with another person also?
You connected with their dreams and their goals.
You said not to say anything when they were talking, and so I was afraid you would hit me with a ruler. I opened my mouth, so I kept my mouth shut.
Because I'm a Quaker, so I don't hit people. Yeah, what do you think the point of my asking you not to say anything was?
Learn how
You learn how to listen.
To learn how to listen.
Mhm.
So really, the whole thing about coaching and about the coaching relationship is it's about sort of getting you in touch with possibilities for yourself and really helping you develop some strategies for getting there. But it's not about telling people what to do, because you actually have that within you. You know, and it's really a process of kind of bringing that out and having a conversation that goes back and forth with some of that support. And the whole thing about who's around you that can support you is also really key, because you can't do these things in a vacuum. So, but your dreams are within your reach.